today's session, we will be seeing lazy loading concept that is also called as a code splitting. Okay, so what happens here is not only a React, even in Angular, we do a lazy loading. So in Angular, we used to create separate modules for separate components. In React, it is little bit different. So the basic thing about lazy loading is here we do have a bundler, right? In React, that is a Webpack bundler. So as we have a Webpack code bundler, so the React app will have their files bundled. Okay, so it will be bundled using Webpack, right? So bundling is like whatever imported files you have it, you will be merging them into a single file, right? So all the imported files will be bundled in a single file, that is called as a code bundler. So this bundle then again can be loaded in a web page, okay, and when it will be loaded in a web page, the entire app will be loaded, right? So you might have seen our application in app.js file, and in many of the components have lot of imports, right? So what Webpack will do, it will bundle it into a single file, and then it will load it at once. Okay, the entire application will be loaded at once. So in that way, the application performance will go down, right? As the entire application is loading at once, what will happen? The application will become slower. Okay, so I'm not saying that bundling is not good. Bundling is good. Okay, but as soon as your project becomes bigger, as soon as it becomes complex, you will have lot of components. You will have lot of imports and exports. In that way, your bundle will also be bigger, right? And even when we install a lot of libraries and we import them, we are using a lot of libraries, we are importing them, we are using the functionalities of those libraries, the bundle will become bigger, right? So to avoid that problem, to avoid large bundles, what we can do is we can split them. Okay, so what we can do, on demand we can load the component. On demand, as in, let's say if I'm not going to products component, then I should not be loading that products component. Only when I click on products, I should load the product component, right? So here what we'll be doing, we'll be splitting the code. Okay, so this code splitting will be done by bundlers tools itself. Okay, so the Webpack will do that work for us. Okay, Webpack will split the code. So for splitting the code or for lazy loading, what we need to do is we have to dynamically import the components. Okay, so here we will be using dynamic import, and we will be using React.lazy method. Okay, so this React.lazy method works with suspense component. Okay, so suspense component will act like a fallback UI. Okay, so until the component loads, because it is on demand loading, there should be something which we need to show, right, as a fallback UI. So here lazy method is using suspense. Okay, and one more thing is lazy method do not support named exports. It should only have default export. Okay, so now let's understand here. We'll go to app.js. Okay, so first of all, I'll run this application and show you how it is rendering. So here what we can do is you can load the component using lazy method. Okay, so I will simply use React.lazy method. So you can see I have these many components. Okay. So for the very first time, I do not want this products, contact, about. Okay. Header and footer, however, we can use memo. Okay. For to avoid unnecessary re-rendering. And product item also I don't want. Product detail, add employee. These are all we can do it dynamic, right? Dynamic rendering, we can do it. So you can see right now it is showing home and products, about, contact, and grada, right? When I go to network, okay, these errors are coming because my Node.js server is not running backend. So let me click on this all. Okay, let me reload the application. And you can see the small chunks will be loaded. Okay, these small chunks will be loaded. Now what I'll do, this small chunks you can consider as a component. Okay, or bundler you can consider. Okay, so now what I'll do, this products, I'll make a separate chunk. So if you want to see how lazy loading will be done, now let's see. I'll just clear this, and when I click on this products, nothing is happening, right? Here nothing is being displayed because products is already loaded, and you can see I'm getting the products component. Now we'll lazily load the products component. So what we will do is I'll use a react.lazy method. Okay, so you can import lazy method, and then here it takes this lazy method is promises. Okay, it's a promises, so it takes callback function, it will take as a parameter. So now here I'll use this react.lazy method. Okay, and then I'll write that callback function, and then here I'll write import in this. Okay, let me copy this whole thing and paste it over here. It's very easy, guys. So now, okay, I've given the path, and then what I'll do, whatever is there, okay, result I'll be storing in another variable. So I'll use the same variable. Now I'll I'll comment this out. Okay, and then next, now immediately we should get an error. Okay, because we have not used suspense. Lazy method always look for suspense component. Okay, so now let's go ahead and check. Okay, so what it says, a React component suspended while rendering, but no fallback UI was specified. So it is telling us like add a suspense fallback component higher in the tree to provide a loading indicator or placeholder to display. Okay, because on demand loading, okay, will take time to load, right? It will take few seconds because if you do one time loading, then all the components will be rendered, and you're going there and you're accessing it, right? So but your on demand loading, what will happen is as you're clicking, at that time component is rendering. So in that case we have to show something, right? Some loader or some fallback UI. Okay, so that is why it is giving us a error. So now here I'll use a suspense method. Okay, where is our browser router? Okay, just about the browser router I'll write the suspense, and then we have an attribute called fallback. We have to wrap it. So in here you can write any component you want to show as a fallback UI, or you can simply write any text. So I can write if, now it should not give any error. It is giving suspense is not defined. Okay, I need to import it. Let me do a auto import. Okay, you can see where is the suspense. React library. Okay, and then now you can see what happens. I'll go to home, reload it. Okay, so I can still see the chunks. Okay, I'll clear this. Now when I click on product, see this chunk alone got loaded, right? So here we have done a lazy loading, right? So likewise, we can do a lazy loading for other components as well. Okay, so let's write const react dot. I think you need to repeat it for others, other components as well. So we have done it for products, we have done it for about and contact, right? So leave about header and footer. Product item, we'll see it later. Okay, now we need to comment this as well, this also. Well, let's see the output. So I will go back to home, reload once again. Okay, and then so when I go to CRUD app, you can see I am not getting that chunk, right? So I'll clear and show you product. So I'm getting that chunk. I'll click on about. Third chunk I'm getting. Contact. Fourth chunk I'm getting. Right? So like this I'm getting a chunk. Right? So here we have done a lazy loading. Likewise for product item also. Right? So I think product item is here only. Yeah, it's here. Product item is here. We have done that even in other component also. I guess products component we have done it, right? Products.js. Here we had done it. And then in app.js file, we have to comment it. Now the same thing you need to do it over here also to lazy load this product item. So what you will be doing? Const product item equal to import. Now here I'll re-render or refresh. Okay, done. So now I'll clear this and go to products. So when I go to products, I click on product one. Okay, product item, it was product item only, and check the other one. Page not found. Okay, let me remove the exact from products. Let me take it this side. Yeah. Okay. So now here we'll clear this and we'll go to products. Chunk is coming, and when we go to product one, okay, it's not loading. Product 2, 3, 4. Okay, for this lazy loading is not happening. Product item. Okay, let me check why it is not happening. It was not happening because we had an import statement even in app.js. Because of that, it was not happening. So here you can see I'll go to home, refresh. Okay, so right now I have one chunk. When I go to about, two chunks we had. It is taking products second. Yeah, products as a second chunk it is taking. Fine. And then I'll go to this product one. See, fifth chunk. Okay. So in this way you can do a lazy loading. Okay. So like this you can do a many nested lazy loading also. But make sure it is wrapped. Your suspense is wrapped like this. A browser router, right? Otherwise, you can even write your components. If not browser router, you can have some components, right? So this thing you can do it here also. You can have some other components as well, right? Like form we have it, we have error boundaries, use effect example. So you can bind them like this, okay? And other thing, if you are binding only these components, right? Then later on you need to bind them here as well.